we can talk about the Memphis Grizzlies. Talk about the Memphis Grizzlies, aka the Golden State Warriors rivals, arch enemies. They have a Christmas game this year, right?
Yeah, they do.
They have a Christmas game against Golden State. Ja Morant is the Hood's new favorite player. Um Jaren Jackson is, I think, out for what? I think it 4 months because of a broken foot.
I think so. Yeah.
So Jaren Jackson is out for 4 months because of a broken foot. They did lose, if I'm not mistaken, Cal Anderson. They also lost the
Where
Anthony
did he
Melton.
go? Real quick. Who picked him up?
I think it was the Timberwolves.
Oh, okay.
No, I was saying, yeah. I think it was the Timberwolves, but they did pick up Danny. I mean, if Danny Green is even healthy for the season, I know he had that injury where he tore pretty much everything. But same time, you have Zaire Williams coming into his second year. You have Desmond Bain coming off what he did last year. You have Ja coming off what he did last year. What do you see for the Memphis Grizzlies? Obviously, now they're not gonna shock anybody. So what do you see for the Grizzlies coming into next season?
I see another successful year for the Grizzlies. Bearing injuries, obviously Ja Morant obviously doesn't have the one of those his injury history. He's very explosive and he's jumping up and down and landing all over the place. Bearing injury, which obviously we don't wish on anyone, but it's just based on history. What we've seen usually repeats itself. But barring any injuries, I believe this team another great year, another top four, top five seed. I don't see why they can't earn home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. Sure, considering their roster and how deep they are, even more chemistry now. They got some playoff experience. Bring it back. They this offseason, I think they extended Tyus Jones, who's a guy we said pretty much is probably the best backup point guard in the league, one of the best assist turnover ratios. They won't have Jackson to start, but they do have Brandon Clark, a guy who was giving you 10 points and 6 rebounds off the bench, so he'll slide right into that role. This team is very good at still being able to win games and compete without when some of their better players are down. We saw it last year. I think when they went like 20-5 without Ja Morant, something like that in that range. They bring it back obviously the same coaching staff, same players. They're gonna just build more chemistry. They got Desmond Bain, Dylan Brooks, a very good wing combo. They both shoot
Dylan
the
Brooks got to
lights
stop
out.
fucking fouling though. And Dylan Brooks is also a war criminal. I have not forgotten, Dylan. I have not forgotten the crimes you committed against Golden State, Dylan Brooks. I have not forgotten the war
Last year
criminal
in
that he
Game 6,
was.
he was hooping in Game 6. Yeah, he had some down moments, but he's still one of the better young wings in the league, despite what happened in the playoffs when he shot the ball very bad at certain moments, shot a lot of questionable shots. He's still one of the better young wings in the league on both ends of the floor. He'll piss off your guard and he'll give you about 15, 20 points. He'll dive on the floor. He's kind of like I want to say like or maybe the same, or like a Dallas Store Marcus Smart, honestly, kind of like, or if it's not in that same realm, in that same that archetype. That's a very valuable player. No, what? Nah,
Nah,
I
he ain't
think
Marcus Smart. I
he's
feel
very
you,
close.
but he ain't Mark. No, he ain't close to Marcus Smart.
He ain't
No,
close to my. That's
he ain't close
ain't
to Marcus
close.
Smart. No,
He ain't
no,
close. He ain't
no,
close.
no.
Pull up the number. I'll pull up the numbers. What was?
He get you
Let me.
18 points on 30% shooting from three
Why
and
he can't be Marcus Smart then?
not
18
Marcus
points.
Smart. He not Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart will get 10 assists. He'll fuck around and get 20
That's
points.
the only difference is the playmaking,
I mean, that's a huge difference.
I guess. But I'm saying he brings sort of the same energy
I feel you.
stuff
I,
to your
I feel
team.
you. I feel
Yeah.
you. I feel you. I feel you.
The same grittiness, but that wing combo is fire. Desmond Bain, and Dylan Brooks. Um, Bain, obviously one of the best shooters in the league, top three, top five shooters in the NBA. He came out there. The way he shoots the ball is, I think he's about 44%. He shoots it from everywhere, from 35 feet, 40 feet, 25 feet. Um, like I said, they got Steven Adams, a vet big. I think he's huge for them. He says really nice, good screens. He was really good with Westbrook. Same thing with John Morant. Finishes at the rim. He can get you 15 rebounds in a game where you need those boards. He'll get those for you. But I think Memphis is solid. They should have another great year, barring any injuries. They bring back Jared Culver, like you said. They picked up Danny Green. Hopefully, he can be healthy. What else? Xavier Tillman was a guy that got good minutes from this last playoffs when he had to step up and play a little bit. But they just a very young, athletic. They really what they thrive in is they're young and athletic, and they get they move around the court very fast. I think they really did a great job of getting under Golden State's skin in this last playoff series. As you can see, Golden State was a lot more comfortable versus Dallas than they were versus Memphis. It wasn't moved around against Draymond Green. Dealing with Maxi Kleber was a whole lot easier than him having to deal with Brandon Clark, Jaren Jackson, and those big and Steven Adams and those bigs over in Memphis. They get real gritty. They're not scared of you. They will bump you. They will talk to you. And it's not going to be nobody who's going to walk into Memphis next year thinking we got to win. They're going to know they're going to have to fight, and they know it's going to be a battle going through Memphis
I have another
next
question
season.
for you. What's the next step for Ja Morant?
The next, I'll say first, health. Besides that, probably maybe being able to slow the game down for himself a little bit. I remember what game was that when we saw when he went crazy when we went to the bar. It was me, you, and Thomas. He had like 60. What was that, game 3 or game? What game was that in the playoffs? You remember when he had Poole doing the dancing around?
Oh yeah, Poole. I think that was game. Was that game 4?
I think that was game 4.
Game 4 when Poole fucking fell like that.
Yeah. We was jumping all over the bar.
We was playing Twister. I'm like, what? How you just fall like that?
Just based off stuff like that, I think his game pretty much. If he stays healthy, he should be fine. Like he can, everything is already in the bag. He has the athleticism. He has the in between game. His mid range jumper could probably be a little better, but he has a floater. 3-ball, he can hit a 3-ball. You're not just gonna leave him open out there. The finishing is unquestionable. One of the best finishers we've seen in the guard finishers we've seen over the last 5 years. The next up for him is just health, and then probably that mid range shot, and then maybe slowing down the game sometimes. But besides that, Ja Morant, another guy who's capable of possibly being an all-star starter next year. He can come out there and get you 27, maybe make a little more, maybe 8 assists might be a lot for him, 6, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. But Ja Morant, he's that guy for sure. Definitely going to be there's not 5 guards in the NBA right now better than Ja Morant.
Oh, for sure. For me, I still think Memphis needs a number 2 option as far as scoring wise, especially if Jaren Jackson isn't going to be there. Well, for half of the year. I mean, I think they need somebody else who can average 20.
You said Dylan Brooks is 18, right? And what is Bane like?
Yeah, but I think all of those guys have to more. But I think all those guys have to be set up.
Oh, you somebody that can get his own. Somebody that can take some pressure in the half court.
Yes. I think they need somebody when shit goes to hell. They don't just have to throw the ball to Ja Morant and be like, Ja, figure it out for us. I think right now Ja has to still kind of make plays for everybody else. They don't really have anybody else who could, which is why even when you put the Jaren Jackson, Brandon Ingram trade up, I didn't mind it because I think Brandon Ingram they need like that type of guy, which is why I look at Zaire Williams and I think that his continued progression is huge for them. Like I want to see if he can eventually grow to be a guy that can kind of like get his on his own. Obviously be able to knock down a 3. He's 6'8", he's long. Hopefully he can like defend, but also can he get his on his own? I think Memphis needs one more player who can get theirs on their own. I think that they'll always run into issues as they get deeper and deeper in playoff series if they don't have nobody else outside of Ja Morant who can get his on his own. I think the next step for Ja, one, defensively. I think defensively he can still be toyed with. I think also I think shooting off the dribble is a thing for him. I think with the way he shoots, he's not really a great shooter off the dribble unless it's like a floater or something like that. He's not really a great shooter off the dribble. So I think shooting off the dribble, getting a little actual literal pull up that he could shoot from, 18 feet. If you can't get to the floater, getting a pull up, maybe getting like a step back that's actually, consistent. Just getting some more moves so you don't always have to be pounding it, trying to get in the painted area. Even though he does shoot 50% from in the paint, which as a guard is incredible. But I would love to see the 3-point percentage get up to about 37%. And I mean, I'm not looking at his splits literally from like every side of the court right now. Actually, let me go look at it. Fuck it. I'm sitting right here. Look at his splits from. And also with Ja got the money now. Have you seen Ja this offseason? Have you watched Ja's vlogs this offseason? My brother.
I have. And his IG lives. Yep, I've seen them.
My brother. I want you to live your best life, Ja Morant. But Ja Morant, please remember how you got the money, Ja Morant. I see you in Icebox taking shots of Casamigos. Hey, brother. Okay. All right. I love you, Ja, but hey. All right. Yeah, see, from Ja Morant, from Is this? Oh, that's a temp. Yeah. See. Okay. So from basically at the rim, he shoots 70%. Insane, right?
That
Crazy.
is insane.
3 to 10 feet, 43. 10 to 16, 38. 16 to 3-point, 24. So I would like to see Ja add like other layers to his game if he can't get all the way to the rim because it drops off complete. And I think one of those things is his form, the way he brings it up from here. Like he he needs to work on that. And if he doesn't get better at that, and hey, you don't have to be great at everything, but if he doesn't get better at that, then I think that they need somebody else who can get their own 20 points. Because right now, I think everybody has to be set up in order to score. And I think that that's what will hold them back. So I think that they'll have a good regular season regardless. I mean, I think that, even if, like we said, Ja misses, 20 games, they have the best backup point guard in the NBA. He's not going to turn the ball over. That is one thing at Tyus Jones, which is also, and it's also why they win games still, because he's not going to turn the ball over and he can actually hit threes. So you'll still win games. I do think obviously missing Jaren Jackson, who in Ja's mind was the defensive player of the year last year. I think missing him with the foot injury, hopefully he can play this season in general. I do think that will hurt. I do think they will drop in the standings a little bit. I also think that the fact that they're not going to sneak up on anybody anymore. Like, people know who you are, and they're a very loud basketball team. They tell you who they are too. I think they might drop to 4th or 5th in the standings. I do think it'll be tougher for them this year. I also think the West is just better than what it was last year too, so it'll be tougher for them. And they were a team that probably should have lost in the first round. They probably should have lost to the Timberwolves in the first round, but the Timberwolves are just the dumbest team in the history of the NBA last year for whatever reason. But again, I think this team will be interesting. I'm looking, like I said, my main 3 things with them is how will they fare without Jaren Jackson. I do think that will hurt. I think they will take a slight step back this year, but I still think they'll be fine. Not like they're going to drop like the Hawks did. Remember that year when the Hawks were the conference finals and then next year went into play. I don't think that they'll do that. I do think eventually if Ja doesn't get, like I said, look at what Ja, by distance, the shit goes down crazy. It's 70% at the rim, 43%, 3 to 10 feet, 38%, 10 to 16, 16 to 3, 24%. So I do think I would like to see Ja work on his in-between game. And if he isn't, like I said, it's not a bad thing. He still shoots 50% for a guard, which is incredible. But I think that you need to find another guy that's able to get their own money. So I'm looking at Xavier Williams, who they drafted, who I think has good size. I want to see if he can come in and be a guy who can get their own money, and you move Dylan Brooks to the bench or something like that. So for real, like just move Dylan Brooks to the bench. I think if Dylan Brooks is your 6th man, that's incredible. And they also lost DeAnthony Melton, so you can already see they're still like they're already losing. I think Cal Anderson, quiet as kept, was a glue guy for this basketball team. So was DeAnthony Melton. So they're already losing like pieces of guys who I think were just integral to the core of that. Like, I don't know how it was on the road. Like, all those guys were the same, like around the same age. Shit. DeAnthony Melton and Ja might have been great friends. I don't know. Cal Anderson and Jaren Jackson might have been great friends. So I don't know. So I think, and that. So we'll see. Say we missing the main point, Ja's mentality. I understand this. Like I said, I love Ja. Ja is a dog. I think it's incredible. But you got the money now, brother. Let's see. So we'll see what